Parc de Coma is a scenic amusement park in France. This park is located up in the mountains, and it offers some incredible views, but it also has an interesting ride lineup. There are a few fun coasters, but where this park really shines is in the flat ride department. This park has some rare, crazy, and chaotic flats. In this video, I will review this park and explain if it's worth checking out. In 1980, a group decided to refurbish a 1917 industrial locomotive, repurposing it as a tourist attraction. In 1990, Les Chemins de Fer du Creusot, or Creusot Railways, opened with a 2.5-kilometer route. This train was expanded in 1995 and once again in 1999. Today, the full route consists of a scenic 1.5-hour or 10-kilometer ride through the Burgundy countryside. Because of the success of this train, an amusement park was built alongside named Parc de Coma. The name translates to the Park of the Valley, which is very fitting given this park's location. The park is atop a hill overlooking the Morvan Valley. The park originally had just one ride, a bobsled built in 1996. In 2003, the park added a Vekoma Jr. coaster. Because of the success of this ride, the property decided to turn to a full-fledged amusement park. From this point forward, they have added a new ride or two most years. Now the park has grown to feature nearly 24 attractions. This park's setup is odd though. To access the park, you have these narrow, windy roads up a mountain. Because of this park's remote location, public transit is not a viable option. You are going to need a car. You then have a few parking lots, all of which are free. You have some lots located up the hill, or there's a main lot at the bottom by a go-kart track. The latter is the most convenient, but it is the first to fill up. The park offers free admission as well. You purchase an affordable €25 wristband if you want to experience the rides and train. It is worth noting this is the only way to experience most attractions. Most do not offer a pay-per-ride option. The one exception is the train, which costs roughly €10 per person if you're paying individually. Parc de Coma is not particularly large, as it covers just 7 acres, and it's a straightforward park to navigate because the midway is mostly one linear path with minimal branching, but you will have to navigate a sizable hill. You enter the park in the lower level. There, you have some smaller rides and the entrances to the bobsled and alpine coaster. To advance further in the park, you have a staircase over those two rides. Then you have a long, narrow midway climbing up a large hill. This runs alongside the course for the bobsled and alpine coaster. But you also have a few other attractions alongside you. Then the top area has another midway with a handful of attractions, most of which offer fantastic views overlooking the park and valley. This pathway just stops abruptly at the end of the valley though. There's no fencing. Someone could theoretically just keep on walking over the edge if they really wanted to. This park does not have much theming, but I didn't mind because it had a pleasant, laid-back atmosphere. Rides in general here look nice. The lower area also throws in quite a bit of shade from trees. However, the upper areas did not have much coverage over the pathways or queues, so just keep that in mind if you're visiting on a hot day. The staff at this park was great. They were quite efficient loading and checking each ride. The only time there was a delay was if the operator intentionally waited an extra minute or two for more riders to board, which is not a problem when a park is quiet. Staff members were also friendly. If you're visiting from abroad like me, it is worth noting that staff members only spoke a little English. This makes sense because it is not a large destination park. This is more for locals. But the staff members tried their best to help in all situations. Related to that, it is also worth noting all signage in the park was exclusively in French, so you probably will want to have Google Translate handy on your phone if you need to read a safety sign or menu. There's no need to rush at this park because it doesn't get the high crowds of the country's larger parks. Even though I visited during peak summer season, most things were walk-ons. The longest lines I encountered were 10 minutes for the bobsled and alpine coaster. 2 additional operational notes. 1. This park uses staggered opening times. Attractions in the lower section open with the park. Rides on the inclined pathway open 15 minutes after the park. The rides in the top section open 30 to 60 minutes after the park. So if you arrive at opening, it is prudent to slowly work your way up, especially because lines are not a problem here. 2. I unfortunately had 2 major ride closures during my visit. Both Odysseus and Canad'R were closed due to unplanned, extended maintenance. This does not seem to be a systemic recurring issue. I just got really unlucky with my visit timing. But the park was transparent about this, stating these closures online and at the ticket booth. And there also were signs by each attraction, but it was still a bummer having the park's 2 most extreme rides down at once, especially given how rare these 2 models are. Fortunately, I have ridden clones of these attractions elsewhere. I just want to get back on them because of how awesome they are. Now let's run through the attraction lineup. It is very well balanced. While the coasters are not too special, the park has some crazy flats that are more than enough to appeal to thrill seekers. But I'll start with the coasters. As of this recording, there are 3. The best of the bunch is the Alpine Coaster. This is a vegan mountain coaster where you can control how fast you go. It is shorter than most rides like it, but you can get some good speed in the descent because this one has no auto braking. You just need to be careful who is in front of you. Because this park draws more of a family crowd, a lot of guests use the brakes extensively on the way down. This completely ruined my first ride. Thankfully, I was able to get some space on my second go, and I had a much wilder experience. At full speed, the turns have nice laterals, and you can get some airtime, particularly on the last drop. Boomerang was one of the first Vekoma family boomerangs. This is an identical layout to Accelerator at Drayton Manor, but this one is a cooler location on a hill. The initial lift offers sweet views, and the subsequent drop offers a minor falling sensation. Then the Helix offers okay Gs going both forward and backwards. And as with all the newer Vekomas, this ride is super smooth. The final coaster is Deviltron, which is a Vekoma roller skater. This one is a basic layout, but I like all the greenery around it, particularly the ivy tunnel at the final helix. What really drew me to this park was its impressive flat ride lineup, especially if you love chaotic thrill rides. Many of them are rare models from Technical Park. Canad'R was my main reason for visiting. This is an ultra-rare Technical Park Flying Fury. I believe it's the last one in operation. It is a variant on a booster. Assuming this runs like the now defunct Vertigo at Tivoli Gardens, this thing should be one of the most intense flat rides in the world. This thing is capable of rotating at blistering speeds. This causes crushing and super sustained positive Gs, some of the best of any ride. Vertigo was an automatic grayo for me, and I expect this to be the same. Then there were some slower rotations mixed in to offer hang time and allow you to appreciate the view. There is one key difference with Canad'R though. One lucky rider gets to be the pilot, manually controlling the gondola. This was done automatically in Vertigo. Odysseus is a Technical Park Pegasus. If you haven't ridden one of these, it feels like a top scan variant rotating on an angle. The seats also rotate here. If these are run fast, and this one appears to by off-ride footage, it can be downright crazy. These rides rapidly alternate between sustained hang time, sustained air time, and crushing positive Gs as it flings you about. I especially love when you're whipped over the top and thrown towards the ground. The best operational flat for me was Escadrille, which is a Technical Park aerobat. Take the flipping seats of a Gerstlauer Skyflyer Skyroller, but put it on a paratrooper. This one was easy to flip, but there was some resistance, so you couldn't chain an infinite number of flips together. I would get 2 or 3 hang time filled flips in one direction before having to throw my weight in the opposite direction. This had a long cycle as well, giving me plenty of opportunities to invert. Toucans is a Technical Park flying scooter. But unlike the versions made by Larson or Bishroko, this one lifts you atop a tower. I was optimistic this would result in an even crazier ride, given the wind from that altitude. However, the range of motion in the tubs is quite limited. Think of a Chance Aviator if you've been on one of those. So forget about coming close to snapping on this. Still, the ride offered stunning views because it was placed at the edge of the hill, and it has a super long cycle, which is a theme at this park. The best observation ride here is Canad'R. This is an 82-foot or 25-meter tall Ferris wheel, but because it is perched atop the hill, you can see for miles in each direction. The views of the park and surroundings are breathtaking. If you want to get dizzy, the park has 2 smaller flats that are exceedingly easy to spin. Ronde des Escurials is a Tubs of Fun ride, and Montgolfières is a balloon tower. Both have vehicles that can be spun very quickly. For kids, there are some smaller flats peppered about the park, versus them being contained in one single area. Moving on to the water rides, this park has 2 main options. The more notable of the 2 is Nautic Jet. This is a self-operated ride from Sunkid Hiji, where boats are hauled backwards atop a tower, released down a ramp, and shot through the air into a splashdown pool. The drop is more thrilling than it looks, and you get weightlessness and a freefall sensation when your boat goes airborne. And despite how it looks, you do come off fairly dry. Then there is also Rivière de l'Ouest. This is a technical park log flume. It features the familiar layout of a portable flume with 2 drops side by side. The second is taller, but the first had a tad more oomph. The splashes themselves are usually not too wet, but the operator was intentionally timing dispatches so the splash from another log would hit another boat. This was welcome on such a hot day. Then the park has 2 additional non-coasters worth mentioning. First is Luge DT. This is the vegan bobsled located on the same hill as the Alpine coaster. I personally prefer the latter because I can go full speed without fear of crashing, but I still pushed in a few of the turns here, and it definitely is more psychologically thrilling if you're light on the brakes. As with the Alpine coaster, you want to make sure you have a clear path ahead of you if you want to go fast. A lot of people ride this one rather slowly. Second is the train ride that started the park. Now, due to time constraints, I skipped this as I was trying to visit Les Palais on the same day. 2 hours is plenty of time to experience most of the rides here, but you need to allot at least a half day if you plan to ride the train due to its operating schedule and duration. Remember, this takes 1.5 hours, and I've heard it's a beautiful journey. The final thing I want to note is food. There are not too many places to eat at this park, but I did grab some fries at the restaurant at the bottom of the hill. They were fairly priced and tasty. So do I recommend Parc Tacoma? Yes, I do. This is a pretty park because of the location. I love the views you get from the park's tallest rides. And the ride lineup, while not super large, is diverse and unique. You have a few fun coasters and more notably, some wild flats. It was unfortunate the top 2 were closed during my visit, but I can attest how amazing they are from clones I have ridden elsewhere. These flats, particularly Canad'R, should put this park on the radar for any thrill seeker. And then if you have the time, that train sounds amazing. If you're in the area, definitely check this park out because it has something for everyone between the sights and rides. If you're on a coaster road trip, I know this park is a bit off the beaten path, but it is quite easy to pair with Les Palais on the same day because the parks are roughly 1 hour apart. So those are my thoughts on Parc Tacoma in France. What are your thoughts on this park? Whether it be the setting, layout, or rides, let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there will be a lot more roller coaster amusement park videos here at Canad'R Coaster. Thanks for watching.